said if you're the new guy or gal in this equation, in this blended family, it will serve you better to adapt to the existing way of doing things. Mm-hmm. You will be better off using your influence in small amounts over a longer period of time.
That's good.
You don't want to be the bull in the china shop.
Right. Number 10, is there anyone I can go to for help? Most cases, I've never had or been around kids 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't want it to get back to then that I'm unhappy with them. My response is a counselor or a leader at the church. They will keep those things private, as they should be.
Right. Yeah, you don't want the kids to know about that, that's for sure. But I think the root problem, if you're not happy with someone else's kids being like the stepmom here, I think there's at least a little bit a lack of understanding of what your role in this new family is.
Right, absolutely. And they're the great ones that could explain that.
Right. So, and it can be overwhelming to be an instant parent. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I inherited your 3.
Right.
And I'm like, what did I do?
Holy, you know what? What did I get into?
Holy whatever, Batman.
Yeah.
But you have to give the bio parent a lot of leeway here in managing their own tribe for a while. Mm-hmm. And as you love and respect one another as spouses and you elevate the marriage relationship to where it needs to be, and if you don't do it all at once, then everybody kind of is allowed to blend and adjust and do things. But make sure that you keep working on your vertical relationship, because that's where the answers are.
You bet.
Just keep asking God for wisdom and strength,
Absolutely.
and He'll change the way you think.
Right. Number 11, will my new spouse and I have any downtime together, or are we always going to have the kids around? My response is yes. Maybe not like when you were dating, but make sure you do have some. Discuss it, pray about it, and absolutely have date night at least once a week. And then that's where I had what you had before. Keep the marriage centered first, and then the child centered underneath the marriage, not
Right.
above the marriage.
Right. I said in making the marriage the highest priority.
All right.
So, and we didn't copy from one another here. We just think a lot alike. So
I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
I think we've been together a
Been
few years.
34 years. We kind of know how the other one thinks.
Yeah.
But as you keep the marriage the highest priority in the house, the kids will see and learn that life is not all about them. Mm-hmm. Be a big surprise to them.
Right.
And also, that's what grandparents are for.
Ah.
It took
The
us...
ones that have kids in state. Ours are all out of state.
that's true. Yeah, we kind of miss not having them around, but it took us 14 months to have a honeymoon.
It did. We couldn't take one right at first when we got married.
So
we had the 3 kids, 15, 17, and 4.
Yeah, so you do what you got to do, but you make some plans, you have a strategy, you make goals,
And the vision.
and you work it out.
Right. Number 12, should I insist on Bible time, grace before meals, a daily prayer time? How far should I go, especially if I'm the male image in the home? My response, if you're a female and you feel these things are important, you need to discuss these with your mate. If you are the male, you are absolutely responsible for these. It's your home, and you need to make sure these are reinforced in your home, in your Christian home.
Right. And what happens a lot of times is, like we talked about in our class the other day about wearing the mantle. Mm-hmm. Guys have a tendency to shrug it off, and they don't do what they're supposed to do. And then the wife wants to try to pick it up and wear it. And then what really happens is the guy just kind of shuts down if the wife pushes too hard to do all this spiritual leader stuff that the guys are supposed to be doing. But godly husbands and fathers are to function as the prophets, the priests, and the kings in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So they're supposed to be speaking the word, they're supposed to be praying and doing the covering over the family and so forth. And for new wives, let the husband know how much you appreciate
True.
his praying with you and his covering of his family. Do not nag or use negative language. You will shut him down real fast.
Right. Number 13, what if I have conflict with the ex-spouse and the kids over the co-parenting? I can guarantee you will have that. That it definitely will happen. But you need to discuss that with your spouse and pray about it. Don't get upset about it. That doesn't help anyone. But you do need to be discussing it and praying about it. Right.
And many exes, you don't run into this as much when one spouse dies. It's, there's just a whole lot less spiritual baggage going on there. But many exes and co-parents are just vindictive. And they're mad, they're upset, they're angry about the whole situation. And
especially if you've remarried and gone on.
Yeah, if you've moved on and they're sort of stuck where they're at, they're going to pull all kind of things, primarily just to disrupt your life.
Right.
They could care less how it makes you feel, but they just want to make it difficult for you. Scripture tells us to love our enemies, bless them, and not curse them, return good for evil, and it's like putting a bucket of hot coals on their head.
Okay.
So that's how you deal with exes.
Well, this is kind of getting into this other one here. Number 14, is it ever okay for me to badmouth their part-time mom or dad? The answer is absolutely no, never. When kids are old enough, they will learn and see for themselves all that was done.
Right.
You don't need to do that.
Yeah, it'll always come back to haunt you. And it's never appropriate to speak badly about anyone as a Christian.
But especially the other parent.
Right. And like you said, the kids will find out soon enough what the real character of the other parent is. And if you do speak badly about anybody, you will be judged for every idle word that comes out of your mouth.
Number 15, do I really have authority being the new co-parent? My response, yes, but don't overstep those boundaries. You and your spouse should set the rules and the boundaries together for your blended families. But we suggest have the kids sign and hang up their copy of those so you have proof that they know what they are, because they'll try to say they didn't know that was a rule.
Right. They'll pull that every time. Yeah. We like to say, okay, put up the 10 Commandments from the Bible, and then have your own family 10 Commandments, or however many, and put them both like on the fridge, just so they're out there. You don't have to talk about them all the time, but it's there. It gets into the brain and into the mind. But just make sure your spouse is reinforcing the fact that you do have authority over the kids.
Well, yes, and that's important that you both are together when you deliver what the boundaries are.
Oh, yeah, that's very important.
Yes. Number 16, don't ever confide in kids about our personal problems, right? Absolutely right. Never do this. Could put up walls that you don't even want to go there. You never tell the kids that there's something going on, and this is how you feel when that happens, this happens. You don't go there.
Right. You're going to inflict a lot of pain on them, because now they're basically carrying all that weight that they don't need to carry by you sharing your problems with them. That's stuff you take to your spouse, or
to God first.
If it's a problem with the spouse, then you take it to God, you take it to a pastor or some other kind of a counselor. You don't take it to the kids. They don't need it, and whatever you dump on them, they're going to use it against you eventually.
Right. Now, these are some of the questions that we asked again last week. Speaking from the kids, having a new step-parent. What happens if the new step-parent or co-parent doesn't like me after the marriage? Do I move out or do they? How can I trust this person when I'm alone with them? Most of the time I've not been with them very much. Will I have to show them instant respect because of their new title? Not sure what the changes are going to be, but I'm scared. How will my life change and my siblings? Did Mom or Dad ask us what we thought before they remarried? And what if they treat my mom, dad, or siblings bad? Where can I go for help? Will I still have one-on-one time with my mom or dad? I guess we will have to change the way he or she wants us to do. Will we still be going to church, or will we be expected to go to theirs? How will I be treated if he or she has their own kids? What if their kids don't like me and we don't get along? Will the food menu change? Will I have to share my computer, TV, and room? Is this the end of my world like I know it? And is he or she makes my parent happy, so I don't want to cause problems? I know God has a plan, but sometimes we have to go through difficult times to see what his plan is. These you can hear the responses to on this radio show, KXXT AZ Christian Talk. Click on Blended Families and you can hear the answers from that, or go to our website. And we thank you for listening, and reach out to someone today. Make it special for them. Smile and shake their hand. We'll talk to you next week.
So long.
And we are a blended family. And thank you for listening. All of our resources, the classes, the seminars, some of our counseling schedules, you can reach us by going to our Facebook pages, which one is Blended Families Snap. We also have another one that's Blended Families Ministry. You can reach us through the Twitter account, which is at Blended Family AZ. Our website, which is theblendedfamily.net. Our email, blendedfamilies@cox.net. Our phone number again is 602-863-7978. We've enjoyed this show and hope that we have assisted you in being able to talk through some of those issues that you blended families are contemplating today. Thank you for listening.